Yes, people. We are back live on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube for another Sarcasm City Sports Q&A brought to you by myself, Flawless Mr. Take Note. I'm joined by a regular co-host on the channel. Jez is in the building. And for those that haven't seen the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A before, you lot in the comments run the show. So you get to ask us any sporting question, past or present, people. So it can be football, it can be basketball, it can be boxing, whatever you want to ask us, feel free. Sporting questions, the show is yours. But before we continue, make sure you hit the like button on the video, whether you're watching this live right now or watching this back afterwards. Hit the like button on the video, share it across all the socials, and subscribe to the channel, Sarcasm City TV as well. Road to 4K. Hit the notification bell. Don't forget to follow the Twitch as well. What are you telling me though, Jez? You good?
I'm good, bro. I'm just craving one of those plantains just right
Oh, see, what did you say you were eating there? Say that again.
This is some plantain chips right now.
Oh yeah. You enjoy. I thought. 'Cause I heard plantain. That's why I stopped you right there. I was about to say I'm about to roll Leicester for some of that. I've not had plantain in a minute, but it's plantain chips, the ones you get in the crisp packet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear that. Big up to everyone that locked in to the fan calling show as well. We do the fan calling shows on Twitch, people. So if you ever want to get onto Sarcasm City TV, that is one surefire way. Another way to get onto Sarcasm City TV, join the membership, people. I forgot to pin it in the comments, but the link's underneath in the description. I'm legit gonna add that add the membership link into the chat as well. Big up Brushy was here early, man. He did this with the popcorn emoji. Big up Brush. Daredevil says, big up Flawless. Love from the USA here. I'm back. I was taking care of some things as I had some work. Hopefully we can sign De Jong. I don't even know. Mina told me how to pronounce his name. Shout out to Mina from Gold Diggers. Look out for that show. But she told me how to pronounce his name and I forgot. I think it's Malasia or is it Malasia? It might be Malasia. ASAP. Come on, you Red Devils. Hope you're blessed, Daredevil. Good to have you back, first and foremost. Secondly, as well, hopefully we can sign De Jong and Malasia plus more. We need more. So I'm with you. Big up to you. Daniel saying here, we're in a win-win situation. We get Raphinha or Dembele. Says, not here too long, going to sleep. Got to take my dad to... Yeah, man, I hope your pops is blessed. Hope you're good and everyone else around you is good as well. But you lot, get your questions in, people. This is all for you lot. Shows all for you lot. Round the likes. We're already at 14 likes already. Big up you lot. Each and every time. Big up Black Diamond as well in the cut. Says like, share, subscribe, support a quality channel with brilliant gentlemen and mods. Facts. What do you want to talk about? What do you want? I know we were just on the calling show, Jez, but talk to us. What do you want to get off? What do you want to get off your mind, sporting wise?
There's not really much going on, to be honest. Like, I already talked about I'm pretty much talked already about what I wanted to talk about Tottenham, Charleston, Longley. Even just reporters came out a couple of minutes ago saying that it's getting closer and closer to an agreement. I guess I'm expecting like here we go for both of them today, I guess.
Pretty much so. That's pretty much what I'm on as well. Like in regards to that.
But did you see what's it called? Fabrizio earlier. This is something I forgot to say earlier. Obviously, because it was a fan show called Colin. West Ham is going to sign. They're trying to sign Danjuma. Like he proposed on it that they have to obviously work on the personal terms now. And what's it called? That they're going in for them.
I did hear about this. I did hear about this. The fan calling show. I did hear about Danjuma to West Ham as well. Which, hey, that'd be a great move for them. That'd be a great move for them. 110%.
Antonio Bowen and Danjuma would be a good front three. Better than Chelsea's right now.
Oh yeah, definitely better. Chelsea's scrubby front three. You know what I'm saying? What are you saying, Timo? You good?
Yes, guys.
You got anything? You got anything to add to the stream, or you just showing up to chill? Talk to us. This guy got nothing. This guy is Timo Werner. He is the Timo Werner of Sarcasm City.
Yeah, I'm just gonna cut into chase. Yeah.
All right, you cut to the chase.
Cut the chase, come.
Yeah, you cut the chase, fam.
I've had I found this kind of silly photo on my Facebook, and I've got some unpopular opinions. So
okay, well, what's your unpopular opinions?
Fast forward to 2026 World Cup. Can you imagine you can have like Jurgen Klopp managing Germany, Zidane managing France, Eric Ten Hag might leave United to go Netherlands, and then Jose Mourinho managing Portugal, Guardiola in Spain. even though Italy's not in the World Cup, but Italy can have Ancelotti in 4 years' time. Can you imagine that, though?
No, I don't think that happens. It don't sound like FIFA.
Or maybe it's just a fantasy though for me, because I just literally just found that the photo on Facebook. But yeah,
I don't think that's gonna happen still.
Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen either. I don't think so, but I don't see that happening. Why would that just sounds like something on FIFA when you know you're 6-7 seasons into FIFA? And even if it did happen, I wouldn't particularly care. I'd still enjoy the tournament. I don't care who the managers are at international. Go on, talk to us, Jess.
I don't care. I only care about the manager for my country. So.
All right, so yeah, so who are the clubs? All right, so yeah, actually, that's actually a very, very, very valid point. So say Klopp was managing Germany. Talk to us. Thoughts?
Because obviously national football is different to international football. So I would need to see how Klopp adjusts to that type of football. Compared to obviously, because you can pick no players like you want to. It would also depend on selections, what fits his type of managing as well. But yeah, man, I think even I said a minute before, the German team is a transition. But 2026, I guess you should be expecting to have seen a striker now, like a recognized striker at top. Younger players developing, so by the time it's more, play a lot more first team football. A lot of them also play in the Champions League. It's just that the names are not as big right now as people know. So it's like, yeah. But again, international football is weird. Like I said, like I don't think everybody can just come in and think, "Oh, I gotta do this now." Like people always said, Jose Mourinho in international football was slap. We never know until he did it. Yeah, we can make the assumptions, but I just feel like we need to see it first.
I think I think he would. You know what I'm saying? Like
I think so as well.
Yeah,
but
I think he would.
I think so as well. It's just for me. I would like to see it at least once, and to really see it if it's like true. But you know what I mean. Like,
I get exactly what you said. No, I get exactly what you're saying. You're not wrong in terms of just because you're a good club manager doesn't necessarily mean you make a great international manager, and just because you're a very good international manager doesn't mean necessarily you're a great club manager. Because people forget international duty, you can't buy nobody. You are legit get what you are given. You have the tools, and these are the tools you have to use to be successful. There's no going out and trying to spend 100 million on a Lukaku. It don't work like that. I'm saying, don't work like that whatsoever. That's what I would say. But I just seen the same tweet that Timo was talking about as well in regards to that. But do I see it happening? No, I don't think Klopp. The likes of Pep, Ten Hag decide to go and manage international. Maybe at later on, but not yet. Mataza says, can't wait when all these Raphinha shirt swaps with Chelsea and Arsenal are mudded and he ends up with Barcelona. We just need to pay him the young money so they can get him. Chelsea can have the ambulance. Timo, who would you prefer actually out of Raphinha or Dembele, and why?
For me, it's more Raphinha because I think he can play in the two position. Let's say if one case we're gonna play for the back, I think we're gonna put Raphinha on the right hand side, which is actually best position. But I generally want to see him as a right wing back as well. It's as much as it's crazy as it sounds. He can play as a right wing back as well.
Can he?
He did play a right wing back in the latter stage of that Leeds games last season.
Yeah, he did it. But like I say, Raphinha at wing back is crazy.
So let me ask you.
Honestly, I wouldn't be genuinely surprised if he played like right wing or right forward.
But I mean, so.
But in a certain situation, especially in against a low block teams, we need Raphinha in the right wing back spot.
Okay, but who plays right wing then?
You can throw Mount in there. Look.
What would you? Okay,
I'll take Rafinha, Dembele, and Sterling on a heartbeat on this team.
Yeah, of course. But let's say, hypothetically saying, Dembele, you signed Rafinha, Dembele re-signs with Barcelona, so you have only Rafinha there. Why wouldn't you just rather want to see against a no block Reece James and Rafinha than Mason Mount and Rafinha?
Reece James right centre back, and then Rafinha gets a low block teams.
Because I think it's for low block teams. Because I believe for low block teams, a right side of Raphinha as a right winger and Reece James as the right wing back would be perfect. Like why make Reece James the right side centre back?
It depends if we get another defender in.
Whether you get C1, whether you do or not. Like I say, this is all to protect Mount. That's the only reason why this is a conversation.
What's happening, bro?
No, because obviously, so pretty much Timo said, certain games he would like to see Raphinha play right wing back against low clubs, for example. And I just asked the question, why wouldn't you just rather see Raphinha in his natural position, which is the right wing, and have Reece James behind him instead having Raphinha as a right wing back?
I don't mind as long as if we get
we're getting two centre backs, so that's not happening.
And Reece James stays in his natural spot, right wing.
We're not. That's not going to happen because we're buying two centre backs, bro.
That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I don't get this. Obviously, we touched on it. Why this even a conversation is, but I don't get this.
Raphinha will start. Raphinha will start on the right, and we'll go back.
Let's say if we're in with Koulibaly in the league, and we get two of them, problem solved.
Raphinha will go on the right. Mount will play in the 10 because we'll go to a 4-2-3-1. Sterling on the right and number 29 on top. That's what will most likely happen.
Just like if we get the league and Koulibaly, but two defenders.
Yeah,
you never know what Koundé do. Like if we get those defenders,
Koundé's not going to happen. Then don't get it twisted. Koundé's not going to happen.
We can all wish. Come on, we can all wish. Like if that's, we can all wish here. Come on.
No, I'm just saying because I don't. Why waste? I know that Raphinha is good. Like, Dance was right now saying that he's good at tracking back. Because obviously, that league team you have to work hard. But why would you want to see Raphinha just unleash him by being able to attack instead of having him also to do all this hard yard thing as well?
Bro, it may happen. It may happen one game if
exactly. It's gonna be certain games maybe when this gonna happen, innit?
But majority of the time he will play on the wing.
So. Yeah, 100%. This is what I'm saying. Like I don't. This whole wing back thing should only happen like maybe 2 times, 3 times. This should be like League Cup games.
Unless we're chasing it.
I never said we're going to play Raphinha the right wing back for the whole majority of the season. No.
Oh no, I never said you said that. I never said you said that. I was just asking the question in there because like I just don't think you should ever even play in those situations. But I do kind of understand where you come from. I do understand what C1 is saying with the house that there might be situations where this could potentially force him to play there. Like the only reason why Pulisic or Callum Hudson-Odoi played in those positions because Reece James and Ben Chilwell got injured, and you didn't have backups for them. And Alonso at some point was so trash, you couldn't be trusted anymore. So it's like, yeah, I kind of get it, But like I said, let the ballers play at the best positions and let them cook. The floor is for you, muted.
Yeah, man, that's legit. Like, let the best players. Like, why is it being overcomplicated? Like, you let the best players cook. Like, they wouldn't sign Hakimi and play him left wing.
No.
That's the equivalent of this. You wouldn't sign Hakimi and play him left wing. So all of a sudden you get Raphinha and then playing him right wing back to accommodate Mason Mount or Havertz or Pulisic or Ziyech or Timo Werner or Callum Hudson-Odoi.
They will play though. I think from looking at the centre backs again, you could be going to a formation change like as I said, 4-2-3-1 most likely. But Raphinha. But regardless, because I think in the attack now, let's say Raphinha doesn't come in. I think Mount is a guaranteed star on the Tuchel, whether people like it or not. I don't want him starting in the attack all the time, but it's most likely what's going to happen. And we're not going to sign Raphinha and Sterling for 100 million and them not being guaranteed starters, as well as Tuchel also wanting to start Mount majority of the time. Well, whether that changes next season, we'll see, but I don't see that changing much. So that's why I think it'll be a 4-2-3-1 or maybe a 4-1-4-1 as someone said.
As one Danzo said, go on, Jez.
But if that formation change happens to a back 4, don't you think Chelsea needs to buy a DM then?
Yes, but if we get decent enough centre backs, then I'm not really worried.
That's fair enough.
because I don't think we're going to be playing like a back four against teams that we should be beating. Against teams that are better than us, like Liverpool, City, Champions League will probably use back five, but against teams that we need to beat, we'll probably play back four.
That's fair enough.
Well,
Fair
all I can
enough.
say is I just wish that we're gonna sort out this Dembele and Raphinha.
Yeah, I think Timo will know tomorrow, innit? Either one will be at Chelsea.
Yeah, well, even though it's not tomorrow, then after that, sort out that defenders first. And probably left wing back as well.
Right, you back up Ben Chilwell, man.
C1, how you? I couldn't ask you earlier. How are you feeling about the Ake links?
If you want me to be honest, I'm not.
Yeah, be honest, fam.
Be honest. This is the channel.
Respect to Ake, he's won a lot in his career. He had a good career at Bournemouth, where outside the top six, he was maybe the best centre backs at the time. But we didn't buy him back for a reason, so I don't see the point in buying him back when we're linked to. Out of all the centre backs, he's the one I'm not really happy about. And when we have I'm not like a Cobham kid, but we have Cole, and we've lost two centre backs in Tomoyo and Gueye who have done great things. So I don't want us to make another mistake and get rid of another young potential centre back.
Because what I've seen is that Fabrizio was earlier saying that Aki and Delete are priorities. He didn't mention Koulibaly as one of them. And I don't think Chelsea is just going to splash money on 3 centre backs, isn't it? I think you guys buy maximum 2. I don't know if you agree, but I think Chelsea going to buy maximum 2 centre backs this summer. And I just don't know if you buy Aki and Delete. I don't know if you're going to get Koulibaly done.
I don't think we'll get Koulibaly then.
Big up Black Diamond in the cut as well. Yeah, Black Diamond, get some feedback from you.
Okay, I'll take off the headphones.
Yeah, take off the headphones. It's all well and good. Big up one Danzo as well, who says Raphinha is very solid at tracking back his right mid position leads is exactly where Reece plays, so he can be effective in that wide right role. But I disagree with this in terms of you don't sign Raphinha and play him wing back. I'll say it before, I say it again.
Especially for the price as well.
Yeah, this is all to protect Mount. That's all this is. You know what I'm saying? What's next? Neymar left wing back. What's next?
That won't happen, bro.
This is outrageous. Dembele left wing back. Like, what are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? And that, could Raphinha play there? Yes, but we all know what his best position is on a football pitch.
And we all know that Chelsea need better attackers. So we'll play.
It's not like are putting no trees. But yeah, Mertaza here says again, people, members' comments do take priority. That's why I skipped to one Danzo's comment. This is why I'm skipping to Mertaza's question as well. Flawless, looks like we're close to getting Eriksen, De Jong, Malacia, and Timber deals done. If we add Anthony and Martinez to that and potentially Timber in the December after the World Cup, good window. Very ambitious window, I'd say, first and foremost. Secondly, I didn't know the Timber deal was close. Obviously, I've heard about Eriksen, heard about De Jong and Malacia as well. Well, if that were to happen, if we were to get those 4, and then you're saying, that's 6 because you're adding Anthony and Martinez, that's better than a good window. That's a great window. That's basically half of our outfield being changed. Go on,
yeah, that's about
do you think that because the thing is, I don't know why United fans making up the theory that Timber is going to be sold mid-season, because they would need to find a replacement. And I think a few would just want to finish off the season. So I don't know if that would happen still. But yeah, Malacia and De Jong, these are obviously looking like they're going to happen. Eriksen, obviously, he still has to make the decision. So I haven't really seen anything about him making the decision yet. But the decision should be coming hopefully next week. So of course, I think a lot of people want to see where he go next. And yeah, Anthony and Martinez, would be also good signings, I think. Obviously, I understand that certain people have the question marks about Anthony, because I have talked to a lot of people that they don't think he's that good or he will flop in the Prem. But in the end, I got stocks too in it. But I think with Ten Hag as well, if this was any other manager, I would have a lot more question marks. But with Ten Hag, it's like a thing where he knows his kid in it. He knows how exactly to get the best out of him. So it's like,
Jez, you know what it is? Because I think people look at Sancho and Anthony in terms of obviously I think Sancho's the better player right now, but I think in terms of profile and stuff, they're very similar in terms of ball to feet. They track their man, but they don't run him behind, innit? So I think that's why Man United fans, they're maybe not sure on Anthony, because I think they want like a winger that can run in behind. Even though Rashford can do that, we all know Rashford's not of the level that he was a couple years ago. So I think that's why other Man United fans will obviously think Flawless wanted Raphinha as well, because he could run in behind as well. I know Flawless wanted Raphinha.
Yeah.
Obviously Pedro Neto, we have to see how he comes back, but I think he's a very good young talent as well. But we have to see how he comes back. But I think that could have been an option for Man United on the right wing as well. So yeah, I think it's just because of the profile of players. I don't think it's because he's bad or anything.
The thing is with that is people talking about Anthony, and like he doesn't really spin him behind, and neither does neither does Sancho. Depends on one, the system you're playing, and two, who the striker is going to be as well. Because you don't necessarily need your wingers to be running in behind if your fullbacks are overlapping. For example, if you're playing in a possession-based team, now if it's counter-attacking, whole different conversation. If you're trying to play transition ball, whole different conversation. But if you're dominating the ball, what's wrong with Sancho and Anthony, for example, occupying not more central areas, but coming in from the touchline, and then the fullbacks, whoever they are, overlapping, and they running behind type of thing. That's what it is. Because to my knowledge, we're not City. How many, apart from Sterling, what running behind wingers does City have? Mahrez don't really run in behind like that. Foden doesn't do it.
I wouldn't. Yeah, Jesus left, so yeah.
Jesus, you couldn't say, but he's a backup to that. I'm trying to think of a play. Foden don't really do that to that extent. So it can be done. People act like you can't, like it can't be done. And I trust Ten Hag enough, because he's looked at it and gone, yeah. The reason why I want Anthony on that right wing, because I just want a quality player out there. Yeah. That's what it is.
You know what it is? Like, I feel like with the whole situation with that is, I don't think it's that deep, to be honest, because when I watched even Ten Hag teams, he never really had wingers that ran in behind. You had Tadic on the left, Anthony on the right, Sebastian Haller as the target man.
So the pivot or the 10 as well.
Yeah, and who was the striker again when they had the Champions League run again?
I think the strike.
Let me look up.
No wait, I think I saw Tadic was playing. He was either playing 10 or up front, because I know Promise was playing, Ziyech was playing, De Jong, VVD, De Ligt. I think Tagliafico was playing. Was Blim playing at that time?
I'm not sure.
Let me
say
Jesuit now. I'm looking it up right now, and the game that we beat them in Dolberg was the striker. Tadic on the left and CH on the right. So it's like he never really had wingers that run in behind. So I think he would rather. Because I remember he comes from Pep's teaching as well. Because he was an understudy during his time in the Bayern B team. So it's like he's more about holding possession, cycling the ball, and just wait for the opportunities rather trying to force it.
Yeah, bro. I'm so happy Man United on in for Olise, man, because Olise under Ten Hag, Lord have mercy. That would be like, in terms of Sancho and Olise, that would be proper like balance on each side.
And that's how I'm looking at it, like with the team. I'm like, go get up, because United need a right winger. The best right winger we currently have at the club to me is Diallo. And Diallo, a kid, we can't be relying on him to be playing in the first team. Like, I want him as backup to the right winger. All of a sudden, our options look better. If it's Anthony, new right winger, and Diallo backing him up on the right hand side, Sancho, Rashford on the left. That's good options. Yeah, Alanga as well. You can also play like that's. All of a sudden, your depth gets a little bit better. Is it ideal? No. But for where Manchester United are currently, it's a massive improvement to the first team and the squad depth. So you have first choice right winger, then Diallo, then Alanga. That's 3 good options to have. I have no qualms with that going into the season where we're at. Left side's a little bit weaker. I like Sancho.
Yeah, because you only have Sancho and Rashford.
Sancho and Rashford, which ain't ideal, but it's all steps in the right direction to me. Reliable journalists have said that Eriksen is open to joining United, and his reps were spotted in United headquarters today, and rumours are they were finalising personal terms apparently. Again, Murtaza, I hope you're right with this. I'm all for this Eriksen deal. I'm all for this Eriksen deal, and he ties into what I was just talking about in regards to as not only someone who can play in your first team, depending on what formation Ten Hag's going to play, but he's also a good option to have off the bench. He strengthens both your squad. potentially your first team, depending on the De Jong deal and what we play. I don't see us lining up with De Jong, Eriksen, and or
Donny.
Bruno or Donny. Yeah, I don't.
Donny,
No,
I think Fred will have a big impact as well.
No?
Yeah, because
As much as
United, yeah.
Go on, just.
No, because I was saying, if United don't buy a DM, Fred or McTominay, either one of them has to step up, because I don't think, like you said, I don't think an Eriksen, Donny, and De Jong midfield is good. I think in possession, it's a really good midfield, but it's just that you can get caught up so many times out of it. The pressing as well. Obviously, they're press resistant, but like it's the defensive transitions and everything. It's like you can get caught up massively. And I know certain people say with that team, they're good of a team in midfield, they can keep the position for long. You're not gonna get caught up many times, but it's a different. The thing is as well is like Donny never really played like a full season in the Premier League yet. De Jong still has to experience that. They may have to just adjust to the league. They already adjust with the manager. That's not the issue. It's about adjusting properly to the league. Just the standards in it in terms of what you need to do in it. But yeah, man.
Yeah.
Go on, Blood.
Yeah, pertaining to the, I've seen a lot of people concerned about RAPHINHA playing wing back or whatnot. What a lot of people don't understand or realize, and I think I would have sent Peter that information over here. Tuchel, when he came to Chelsea, what he indicated is that, number one, that wasn't his squad. And if you have a squad that doesn't fit your philosophy, then therefore you will have to temporarily evolve to fit the strengths and weaknesses of that squad. Hence, at times you will see the back five or whatnot. If you look at Tuchel historically, he never really used wing backs per se. So now that he's actually getting to construct his own team, I think you might see a transition to a back four, right? And that shows the class of the man himself, any manager that can evolve. Another thing to I saw in the chat that somebody is saying, should we be concerned that Erik ten Hag is only looking for former players? And my answer to that is no. In fact, we should be pleased. We should be pleased because
big up Lewis as well. Big up Lewis.
Big up Lewis.
Don't worry about it. Like Dembele is gonna come.
Yo, Lewis, man, you got R10 coming in, fam. It's calm, man. Why you stressed? You was happy yesterday, man. Don't worry about it, man.
You guys had R9 as well. Like I don't know what happened to him,
you had R9. Now you got R10. You know what I'm saying? You had R9 last season. Now you got R10, Lewis, man. Good times ahead, man. I look forward to seeing you happy about them great attackers at the bridge. You had R9. Now you've upgraded to R10. Go on, Black Diamond. Carry on.
Yeah, so Ten Hag is facing two major obstacles. One, his style of play, which requires, as again I say, very technical and intelligent players. It is going to take a while for people to adapt, our players to adapt. And therefore, ideally, if he could get in 3, 4, or 5 players that already knows the system and how he wants to play, then it will be is consistent with the other players looking along. Because I saw a clip with a few minutes of the training, and Donny was actually the standout person because he knew exactly what the manager wants. So once we have, say, 4 to 5 core players that understands the philosophy of positional play, I think that the rest will follow. Because Jadon Sancho is very technical, and I think that since coming to United, he has proven that he could own the left or right position. Seeing that he has been utilized on the left, if Anthony comes in on the right, then we will be good to go. And just said it brilliantly. If you look at Pep's system, he never really depended on wingers running in behind. So the more players that we get to fit the system is the further or the faster that we will progress, because even Pep needed time and money to implement the system. So once we get sufficient players, I think at least, as Flawless said, once we have something on the pitch that resembles a style of play, triangles or whatnot, I'll be pleased.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's all we're looking for. Welcome Eddie to the show as well. What are you saying, fam? You good?
Eddie
I'm
Murphy.
good, brothers. Hope everybody had a blessed day. Or if it's, I think it's just what? Nah, y'all day is over. Yeah.
It's day's over, fam. It's day's done, fam.
Our day started again.
Okay.
over, fam.
Okay.
The night is young. The night is young.
Day's over,
Nah,
fam.
man. I'm all good though.
Yeah, man. Love.
Yeah, man.
You lot in the chat, continue to get your questions in as well. Talk to me, C1.
Yeah, we all know Bruno's crap here, but with the thing, yeah, I don't see him. If he was to play in the Ten Hag system, I don't think he's gonna play midfield. I think he could play off the right.
He's a winger. Like, did you guys see the practices? Have you seen the tape of the footage of the practices?
I haven't watched it. I've seen it posted on my timeline, but yeah, that's it.
I saw one on my timeline.
Again, the game is moving so much, it's outside of his grasp. I'm telling you this right now. Like, I don't know if he's going to be able to compute out there. So it's good for me. It's brilliant for me, and I think the rest of United, that we can clearly see what Ten Hag is trying to do is the antithesis of what this dude Bruno is as a football player. Moving with direction.
That's it, the antithesis.
Antithesis. I got the scholar below me. I got to bring out the big words. I got to bring out the big words, man.
Technical jargon.
Like what we do about Google's going carry on.
Yeah, no, we got the Google right below me. We got the Google right here. So yeah,
I don't see how he functions in a Ten Hag system.
Nah, man.
Because even if you take away like
Arrivederci, sayonara, au revoir, whichever way you can put it in whatever language. I'll be there.
Just
Eddie, legit question: would you sell Bruno this summer?
I sell him in the winter, the summer, the spring, the fall, Passover. What else you want?
Christmas,
Halloween. Diwali. Yeah, shout out to all my East Asians too. Diwali, that too.
Chinese New Year.
Any of them.
Imagine getting salt on your birthday, fam.
It could be on the Mayan calendar. It don't even have to be on the Mayan calendar.
Eddie, don't forget bank holiday as well.
Bank holiday. Shout out to y'all who celebrate. Think what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing. Like, with it, like in regards to Bruno on the right wing. Like, I'm with you, Eddie. Like, I'm not a fan. Could he potentially play on the right wing? Yes. Your point is valid when you say he causes less destruction there because he's simply out of the way. So if we have to sacrifice whoever's on our right wing to get the midfield of De Jong or Donny, if we do sign De Jong, and another 6, whoever that is, if it's Fred, I'm all for that. Or if it is Eriksen, I'm all for it.
Here's how it's playing out, dog. Here's how it's playing out.
Go on.
We could see Eriksen, Donny, and the Dutch brother. I'm gonna get his name. Once he plays a few good games, I'll get your name right, my brother. That's how the game goes. They was calling Giannis Antetokounmpo, whatever you want to call him. Then they started getting MVPs. They said the whole thing. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Is that Malacia you're speaking of?
Hey,
yes, Malacia. There you go. Thank you, sir.
Just call him Tyrell.
I ain't gonna lie. I call him Tyrell because that's his first name.
I can see those three, like, fully confirmed by the weekend.
Woo.
And then
you're saying the fullback Eriksen and De Jong by Sunday.
By Sunday, or at least by the time we go to Asia, they'll be ready. They'll be there.
I think De Jong will be ready like the last week of before preseason. I think the left back will probably be done by Friday. Eriksen, we don't know about it because it's his choice.
Team going to Asia, man. I wish my team going to Asia, bro.
Yeah, bro. We're gonna have 2 attackers ready for preseason.
Hey, Timo, first and foremost, hold that. Secondly, just because your teammate going to Asia doesn't mean you ain't going to. You can't go. If you want to go Asia, go Asia, fam.
Hey, Asian Cup is next year, man. But
don't give me no Asian Cup bullshit. You didn't even know your team was in it until someone in the chat told you, fam.
I have a question though. But can Alonso travel this way to America for preseason?
Can who?
Alonso travel to America.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
What happened?
You said, can Alonso travel? Can Alonso travel to America? I'm not sure.
Alonso, why couldn't he?
Doesn't he have like the case on?
Yeah, got a murder case.
Alonso got a murder case.
Yeah,
like that's why they call him the killer.
Google it.
Marcus Alonso.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm asking. He's still on your team.
Yeah.
No, he ain't gonna be here. Once Barca gets money, he's gone.
True say that being said, he's going to Barcelona anyway.
Yeah, he's already gone. Tuchel said he can go. So once Barca get their money, he's gone.
Tuchel's having a clear out, man.
Is this legitimate?
What?
Alonso killer?
What leaving?
I guess he hit a pedestrian.
Lewis is saying, if you Google it, will pop up and tell you what happened. Yeah, his case was insane. Amanda saying he already said. Did he say? I don't know. I don't know the ins and outs, people. I just know
He has been killing football for time, but I didn't know that was a criminal offense.
Yeah, geez. You lot in the chat. You lot in the chat. Continue to get your questions in as well.
I'm not going deep into this. I'm just supposed to answer the question.
I don't know all the detail like that, but you lot in the chat continue to get your questions in, people. The Q&A is for you lot. So sporting questions, past, present, it can be football, basketball, boxing. Got you, Lewis. I'm literally going to say
now. This is 2011. This is 2011, though.
2011, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, because Flawless, I don't see, because Bruno, even though Bruno may not have the technical quality, he doesn't have the. He's very off the ball, like he exposes your midfield, man. And Ten Hag is not gonna like that. So, and plus he has a contract.
He paid off the family.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what the ins and outs, but that, like I said in it, because I'd never.
No, I have it. I have it here. Do you want me to read it, or I can just put it in the chat?
Yeah, just drop it in the chat, fam.
Yeah, drop it in the chat. We'll be waiting for the questions and that to load up.
Just drop it in the chat. Yeah, Lewis, I sent you the link as well. The larger Daredevil in the cut says, "Big up Eddie, love from Chicago. Madison or Ericsson over Bruno all day long." Of course, Ericsson, like any competent 10. Give me a 10 who's just a creator first. That's all I want. Don't give me the shoot on site, shoot first. Number 10. They don't exist. We was having this conversation. Shout out to my guy Kovu, because we did Mandem United on Tuesday. And he's a fan of Bruno. And we was talking about it, and I was saying that's my issue with Bruno is he shoot first. Again, I asked the same questions, and I asked Kovu this question, and he laughed. What does Bruno excel at?
The thing, Bruno don't excel at anything. He's not good at anything.
But we hype it up the same way we had Larger Lewis in the cut as well. We had Ahmed calling, who's a Chelsea fan, and we were talking about Havertz. And I said, what does Havertz excel at? And he just started, and he went, and he just started laughing.
I know what Havertz is.
I know you're a Havertz fan, but I'm saying, like,
I'm not a Havertz fan. I know what he actually is.
No, Havertz fan. I said, I know you're a fan, but what I'm saying is, because he's technically sound left-footed in German, we think he's cold. That's what it is.
No, you know what he is. He's a Ramton door. It's a
He's
player
a
that. It's a Ramton door. Ramton door. I don't know how to say. Lewis, let me finish, because I wasn't even. This is not even a prop thing.
Why are you snoring, bro?
What is that?
I was sighing.
I've heard of what you're talking about.
Wait,
but I don't know.
Coming.
It's a player that interprets space in it, similar to Dele Alli and Muller, but they have
Let
to
me see how
get
you
GA.
anyone know how to spell that? Let me know. I'm trying to Google this.
Ramton door, whatever it is.
Eddie saying stuff like that.
I might actually Google that, to be honest.
It's a player that interprets space in it. They attack space, but they have to get GA, similar to how Dele Alli and Muller.
Timo Werner.
Yeah, so what's he? What's a shadow striker then? You talking about?
No, not like Timo Werner.
How do you spell this? Let me know in the chat, people.
You said someone who interprets movement.
No, attack space, yeah.
My God.
Yeah,
so someone who makes movement for other players.
What?
No, not makes movement.
Wait, before you continue, see one. What is it? Remen what?
For players.
How do you say it?
Attack space.
What's it called? How do you say it? What is it?
Ramton door. Let me check.
Ramton door, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to Google it, but I don't know how to spell this.
There we go. R-A-U-M.
There we go. R-A-U-M. Oh, okay.
Yeah. It literally just brings up Thomas Muller.
Yeah, that's what.
Oh, Raumdeuter. Yeah,
It's
a German kind of word, isn't it?
Ramsandor.
Yeah, as I said,
Simply translated as space investigator or space interpreter. It's not a specific position, but a role pertaining to a player. A term that has caught the eyes of the footballing world since a few years. So how do you play it? It says, meaning playing a right-footed striker on the right wing and a left-footed one on the left wing. Contrary to other wide positions, the Ramsandor does not rely on his dribbling trickery and pace to be effective out wide. Instead, his mental attributes, primarily off the ball movement, is what make him effective. See the excuses we have to start and things we have to start coming up with to say players are good people. I've never heard of this in my entire life.
I know this from Football Manager still.
Yeah, that's what he is, but he doesn't get GA, which is a problem.
Wow,
I understand the role, but you still got to be a good football player.
It's not an excuse, isn't it? I'm not saying.
No, I understand the role and I get what you're trying to say, but you got to be a good football player too.
How about you have all that mental? But the thing is, that goes hand in hand. Every single wide player, every single good wide player or good attacking player has good mental attributes.
Exactly.
I can't lie. It just felt like a fucking 10,000 word dissertation on fucking.
No, it's just another
wild. Like
what is the
player that don't have that?
What is the origin of that word?
No, because the thing is German.
It's just a fancy way of saying the man runs around a lot.
No, it's not that. It's like obviously.
I'm gonna call Mount that next. Like, what's the word? Ramton.
See, the thing is,
call fucking Mason Mount that next.
The thing is, it's similar to like a false nine, but it's also not a false nine because like the way it is, because like again, you attack the spaces, you're linking up the game between all the fullbacks, the wingers all together, and also you attack. You move around certain areas on the right side channels, left channel, in the middle of the pitch. So pretty much you have to get involved nearly everywhere. That's why Thomas Müller is also like. But the thing with Thomas Müller is like the reason why Thomas Müller is like so rated for us. The way I rate him is because the way he pretty much dictates play from his kind of position, and also shows and shows up in certain situations to score goals and assists. That it takes a high IQ situation to kind of play that role. But the issue with Havertz is no, I don't believe he has IQ. I don't think he's just at the level right now to do that.
He doesn't. But when you play that role, you have to bring GA because if you don't, then it's not.
But
really
to me, like that,
just running around. The man said Mountain Door. That's mad.
You have to have skill set with that though. And the thing is. Yeah. All of them attributes that were named in this
I literally said it's not an excuse, bro.
Attackers, I'm not saying you. I'm saying like this is what football has become to an extent. We're praising man for having basics. As an attacker, as a top level attacker, yes, your movement should be good. That's a given. Like, if your movement's elite, different conversation and that. But if you're a top level attacker, I'm not giving like that's just having a first touch, being able to pass the ball, just the basics. Now, if you're an exceptional passer, you have an exceptional first touch and things like that. That's a whole different conversation, and you utilize your movement to then score a lot of goals. But this is crazy. I said this, but
This is what I always say. This I think he will never reach his potential at Chelsea as of now because I don't think Chelsea are even playing him in the best role that he possibly can. If Chelsea do change to a back four and he plays in the 10, this is where I think he can get the best out of him.
You're just not that good. Like, people just need to.
I see one. I hope to God.
I do genuinely believe he has talent.
Lewis.
It's just he hasn't shown.
I've said this. I believe he's talented in terms of. I've said this. He's technically sound. Because he's technically sound, left-footed, and German. It's trick people. That's what this is. That's what it
was the hype in 2020. I will be on
and the Champions League goal has helped him. If you score
not even that. Like, I've seen tweets from 2020 that have resurfaced over this year. I can't lie. It was fraudulent, man. I'm seeing the playmaking of De Bruyne, the fucking finishing ability of R9.
The pace of Ronaldo.
Twitter is so fraudulent, man.
But
And C1, I hope that fucking Ramtam Dod word never makes it on the timeline because God
Oh
forbid.
yeah, that's my
Hey,
bad.
I'm about to drop that. You hear me on that? When someone's like, "Are you good at FIFA?" Yeah, I'm on Ramtam Door. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I run around a lot, man.
I can't lie. I used to draw my football manager thing for like the 10 role. You can even play it on the wing in it, but it depends on the player's attributes. But I keep the FM top for later. But now my point with Havertz is pretty much I do think because I think if you get the basics, you will always make it as a footballer, and I believe he has the basics. It's about how you develop as a player. This is what I don't know if he can get it. I don't think his development will be shown at Chelsea. That's what I don't believe. If he goes Chelsea, if he leaves Chelsea, I think he can reach other levels. Because sometimes you're just not meant to be. Maybe he's just not meant to be at Chelsea.
Can I chime
in before I get to this from
I will say something and then probably ask Lewis a couple of questions because he will know better than me. But from looking at Havertz before Chelsea purchased him, the qualities I see in Havertz are whatnot. I think, and I have said it for over a year, I think that he would totally excel in Pep's system, right? And that probably Tuchel's team at the moment, because again, he inherited a team, Tuchel plays a bit too pragmatic for Havertz's strengths and abilities to show. Number one, can you remind me who they purchased Havertz from and to what was their style of play or system? Lewis?
From Leverkusen, but I don't know the style of play or nothing. But knowing the Bundesliga, attacking, lots of space to deal with, especially in transitions. Yeah. Teams don't really sit deep in that league.
Right. So basically Havertz will do, I believe he will do well in Pep's system. He will do better than he's doing now, probably in Klopp's system because it's a well-oiled machine. But pragmatism is not for him.
Yeah, I agree with you in the sense of, does he perform better in Pep's system? Yes, but you know who he is if he goes to Manchester City? Gabriel Jesus. Just the same squad, bro.
This is the thing I was gonna say as well. Like as a good attacker,
he's the same guy, man. He goes. Sorry to cut you off, Lewis. Before you go, if he went to Manchester City, he's a squad player. He's not starting for them. If he went there right now, he's their worst attacker.
Here's the thing, though. As a good attacker, I think it's hard to fail in Pep's system after a year or two. It's very tough,
but you can just be like decent. Who's he better? All right, so Eddie, who's he better than currently out of the players that play in the front three for Chelsea? I mean, for Manchester City, who is Havertz currently better than?
No.
Let me think the list real quick.
Yeah. Run through it. Is he? We can run through it. Is he better than? We can forget Haaland because he's just landed there. Forget Alvarez because he's just landed and he's young. Is he better than Foden? No. Is he better than Mahrez? No. Is he?
We should be comparing him to players that play through the middle, though.
He's not better than, cut it out. He's not better than.
No. Listen. I didn't say he's better. I didn't.
I'm laughing at Eddie. And Eddie's Sterling agenda is filthy. Kai Havertz is not better than Raheem Sterling.
It's not as drastic a difference as you may think. That's all.
Yo, it is a drastic difference. That's why they're trying to get rid of him.
Can I say
no, sorry. For Raheem Sterling comes to Chelsea, he's our best forward by default.
Can I say something?
Like, there isn't a debate on anybody.
Yeah, go.
I think Sterling is the better attacker, but I think we should be just comparing Havertz with the central players that play through the middle.
Yeah, that's my thing. Like,
okay, but let's compare him to the players who play false nine. Is he better than De Bruyne? No. Is he better than Bernardo Silva? No. Is he better than Gundogan? No.
Yeah, of course. This one.
He's their worst attacker if he goes. He's in the stands if he goes to Manchester City. He Gabi Jesus. Let's talk if we're gonna talk about it, let's talk honestly about it. Where does this hype come from with this guy? Because he's technically sound, left-footed, and German. That's it.
Winning goal in the UCL. That's
the Champions League. That's it.
But you know what's wild for me? I'm gonna say a statement that people might not like. People might not like what I'm about to say.
Before you continue though, Eddie, a winning goal for someone in the Champions League final got man 3 years managing our football club, but that's a whole different conversation. You know what I'm saying? It holds a lot of weight. You know what I'm saying? It holds a lot of weight. But go on.
Shit.
I think we all can kind of agree with. I think we all can agree with Havertz and where he is at right now in terms of what he's shown right now. I just think personally with like someone like Havertz, I don't see him ever being. I don't think he's going to be that guy at Chelsea. I genuinely just don't believe he's going to be the.
He's just a good player, and that's it. And can he get better? Yes. Because how is he? 21, 22?
He's 23.
Yeah.
20. So he's 23. Now, if we look at what he's doing at 23 and look at what Sterling was doing at 23, it's a whole different conversation.
Well, 100%.
He was performing at a high level.
100%. So yeah,
it's not a question.
I just don't believe he's a bad player.
Sterling can carry a team. I've seen Sterling do it with Liverpool. This is why I don't understand why people don't want him, because he can fit in a team system. He is the second highest goal scorer for every single one of Pep Guardiola's Premier League title-winning seasons. He's their second highest goal scorer consistently. And at Liverpool, when they all relied on him through 14-15, he was the one driving that team forward. Yeah, they've only finished in 5th place, but without Sterling, it would have been 13th. But people don't want to have this conversation. Apparently, he's just Werner 2.0. No, he's not.
Why is it? Because it's an eye test thing. That's one good thing I say about like Havertz, like being a silky German. That's where that comes from, because he does look good on the ball. That's also the trick.
He's very aesthetically pleasing.
Yeah, he is. Pause. I was trying to say that as clean as possible, but yeah, that's what it is. And you know what adds into that, Lewis? Because he's left-footed.
Oh yeah, left-footed players look more techy. Left-footed players look more techy.
Yeah, most left, because you don't see it. Like Raphinha, Gareth Bale, the list goes on. Like,
David Silva,
Bernardo Silva.
He's never looked techie to me though. He's just looked like, I think the word silky is fair.
Yeah, he's
good with his first 2 touches. This is why I said Batshuayi. First 2 touches.
And then when you watch him, you go, what do you offer? What do you excel at apart from looking?
He's a Ramdonteur, man.
It's a home Deuter.
So,
what is it? Ramdeuter? Let me pronounce it correct. Ramdeuter.
Shout out, man. My dog.
All right, cool, bless.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's the production business. Sterling produces. I'll leave it at that.
Eddie, legit.
Eddie doesn't wait to think.
Eddie, hold on. Eddie, wait. So Eddie got Sterling agenda. Eddie, legit.
I have nothing else to say on Raheem. Shout out to Raheem. I wish him well. That's it.
Eddie,
cause
would you take Sterling over Rashford in your team?
Huh?
Would you take Sterling over Rashford in your team?
Brother, they are under 12s. I'll take before I take Rashford. Family, you're not asking much, though. You're not asking me much.
Team, I think you should be knowing the answers yourself by listening just to him.
I would take a 5th grader and project for the future over another day with Marcus Rashford at my football club.
United should say.
I'll really say, this is one for the future. One for the future right here. Take the number 10. Take the number 10.
So back to the Tuchel thing. So basically, Tuchel came in as a manager, inherited a team that was not his, was brilliant enough to take them to a Champions League final, win the Champions League. However, subsequent to that, his system wasn't sustainable because all 5-6 attackers have failed. Will you say that all the attackers have failed?
Pretty much.
And if all the attackers have failed,
shout out to Silky German.
If all the attackers have failed, then it is indicative that the man needs to build his own squad. And if it is he achieved the Champions League with a squad that wasn't his, if he's allowed to build his own squad, then and only then would he be able to compete for the league. Yes or no?
Yeah.
I think every top manager that is allowed to build his own team and then get all the funds that they think they can need to compete. I think they will always be there to compete in them.
Yeah, I think so. I think every manager who's won the Premier League has had his team. There isn't one who hasn't. Every single one. Even if we go back, let's just go back 22 years to the year 2000. Every manager since then has had his team, whether that's Fergie, whether that's Pep, whether that's Klopp, whether that's Ancelotti. I'm probably forgetting someone in mixing there with Arsene Wenger or something like that. I'm saying, yo, Eddie, you on mute from? You shouting? Oh, right, you shouting at the TV. Never mind. Yeah, it's calm. Taza says, we're gonna skip here to this. Y'all see the Murray to Hawks trade? It's a weird one because Trey and Murray are similar players, but there's no more excuses for the Hawks. They have a really good team now. Jez, we'll go to you on this one. Thoughts on this Deontay Murray trade to the Hawks?
What is the expectations with the Hawks team, though? What is the expectations? Because Trae Young, good player, I rate him. Even though you can question his defensive abilities, good player.
Now I had my neighbor came up to my window.
Yeah, no stress, fam.
Don't worry about that. Murray, good player as well. I think Murray's defensively better than Trae, so it's a little bit different. You know? And I think he's also taller than him, so it's like one can play shooting guard, other play point guard. You know? But who other than two is on that team that I rate? I don't rate Collins. Capella he's a decent squad player, like coming off the bench or a starter. Hurter, nah. They traded Gallinari there for Murray. I think they need to make a couple more moves to be doing something. You know? Like, I don't like. What are the excuses? Like, what do we expect of these Hawks team? Like to make the finals? I don't even expect them to make the conference finals.
Yeah, you spent
reality.
What?
But yeah, that's just my opinion. But overall, I think it's a good move, though. I think Murray adds something different in the guard's position.
All right, Timo, you there?
Yeah,
man. Your thoughts on this? Murray to the Hawks. Do the Hawks now have to stand up? I'm saying they have a really good team now. This is what Mertaz is saying. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
Agree in some sense because I feel like the Hawks literally giving away their shit players. I don't think Gallinari is that good. I think the Dejounte Murray to the Hawks is an upgrade for them, in my opinion. And I don't know where they're going, so because they missed out on the playing spot last year. I think they'll be in that playing spot somehow in the 8th seed, but yeah, somehow I think they're gonna get knocked out in the first round. We'll see. We'll see in the free agency as well because the free agency is tomorrow though.
Mm-hmm.
So the Hawks might add some players in as well to suit the style of play.
Yo, Eddie, you there? Yeah, he is. Your thoughts on this Murray to the Hawks trade? It's a weird one because Trey and Murray are similar players, but there's no more excuses for the Hawks. They have a really good team now. That's what Mertaz is saying.
I don't think it's enough for them to do anything drastic. I do think when I talked to Peter about this, he said a good point. It's like you went from hitting the Eastern Conference Finals to being damn near swept in the first round. Something had to change. And when you look at what Murray provides them, it's something they didn't have. And it's a new dynamic that can definitely change how teams guard him. Because DeJounte Murray has a lot of potential. He's highly athletic. He reads the game well. The only thing lacking is a jumper, but he's improved to the point where he's a good mid-range shooter. You hope he can at least hit a corner three. Because hitting a three is what opens up being able to hit a three from everybody on your team is what opens up the court and makes you damn near unguardable. Maximum, you want to have one guy who can't shoot. Maximum. That way you space out the floor and he can just get to the rim and do his thing. Not to be so long-winded, but
that's cool.
I think with this move, their ceiling is the fourth seed. What this allows you to do is kind of use Trey the way that Golden State uses Steph Curry, with him being such a great shooter, and it'll take the attention of multiple defenders who may have to run out to him if he's, stationary somewhere waiting for that pass and shoot. So due to what they already have in the conference, it won't amount to much, but, they had to do something. So better for them to do anything significant than nothing at all. So, yeah, you can take it.
Yeah, big up C1 as well, man. C1, I know you be ourselves, man.
man.
Big up. Bless, man. Catch up with you shortly, yeah? We'll see you probably later on today on some stream somewhere, fam. Big up, yeah? Every time, man. Again, we will get to all the super chats, all the questions as well. Time to Shines here says, Drizzy, that's big up for the super chat. We'll get to that. Like I said, members' comments and super chats take priority, people. So I'm not ignoring you lot. It's just a part of the perks. The membership is in the pinned comment as well. Trade Collins and Capella, and they can be rolling. Do you agree with this from Time to Shine?
Yeah, I think they can trade one of them. They still need to keep somebody to protect the rim. And there's not that many people that you want to get back for Collins and Capella. Like, we're talking all-star level center at the bare minimum if you put those two. Because those are two of your big men, right? Capella to start the game is your 5, and Collins to end the game is your 5. So your entire front court depth will be just wiped out. So unless maybe you do it for a what's his face? Aiden. Right? Okay. CP3 had success with
I'm gonna bounce in a bit, guys.
Yo, Lewis, love, I'll catch up with you probably tomorrow. Yo, big up, man. Every time.
Yeah, you do a Aiden for Murray and Capella swap. That makes a bit more sense. I don't know how the math would add up. I think it'd have to be a sign-in trade because that's still a lot of money to move. But yeah, I guess. But it's all about what you get in return. Trades can't be one way if you're an Atlanta Hawks. If you're a team who just wants to suck next year, then you trade for whatever because your mission is to get all the money off your books, right? If I'm going to pay for a team that sucks, I'm not going to pay top dollar. That's how these owners operate. So that's how I see it. That's how I see if that was to happen.
Right, fair enough. Jess?
Yeah, I agree. The thing that I said already before, like, I think if you were to trade one of them to, I don't know, it depends. I think Collins would give you more. I think out of Collins, you probably can get more out of like a good deal than a Capella. But you have to keep one of them. And if I had to choose, I think I'm keeping Capella because I think he's the better player. But I don't think there's much between them in like one is superior of another. But I think when it comes to rim protecting, I think I trust Capella a bit more. But he did have the injury, so it's like one thing to have to consider as well. I think Collins is also on a big contract as well, so I think it makes it a little bit more easier to trade him as well. So I don't know, but they definitely have to make some moves. Like I said, DeJounte Murray, I like the move, but I need to see a bit more out of that. I need to see a bit more to really have expectations. Because right now I don't really have expectations of the Hawks. Like, what are they supposed to do? Are they better than the Nets? No. You can argue they can compete with the Sixers. With Harden, he opted out. He's going to be a free agent now. He's not going back to the Sixers. So that's question mark there. The Heat are better than them. The Bucks are better than them. So what do you really expect the Hawks to do and beat? Yeah, the Celtics as well. So it's like you got so many teams there who are better than them. You can beat them in the playoffs.
Question to Eddie and Jez, and even you two flawless, pertaining to the Murray to Hawks and whatnot, and they have no excuses. I think I believe in brainstorming as a team to answer to find a solution. So first thing we need to identify is what are the Hawks' major weaknesses and deficiencies. If we identify that first, then we could probably see what one person or two players or three players could add. So what do you think? What do you guys think are the Hawks' major weaknesses? And how do these possible trades facilitate or remedy the problems? Fair enough?
Yeah, no, fair. If I'm being honest, I just think that the Bucks and the Celtics structurally present a lot of problems because, again, with Trey being the size that he is, he has to play outstanding every game to be effective. He can't be a person who has an off game and his team, does the business. Now, when you add DeJounte Murray, you somewhat limit how effective Trey can be because Trey has been used to playing with the basketball his entire career.
Yes.
Right? And DeJounte Murray has that same problem where it's just been him on the Spurs. And he's been making the primary decisions for his team. And so how they mesh is going to take some time. And while it's taking time, unfortunately, Milwaukee's not waiting for anybody. And Boston has reached a level of basketball that changes you mentally. Because they've been in a highly competitive winner-take-all series like the finals, their level of intensity and what they think they can reach has it's far exceeded what they've shown thus far. So I just think that their competition, unfortunately, structurally is better than them, and it would take one of them maybe losing a player of a Chris Middleton like it happened in this playoffs. And the same thing for Boston. They lose one player out for injury, one highly important player. I think it'd take a lot for them to get to where they want to be.
Fair dues. But we are going to continue on that because I know time to shine. You've asked my Mertaz have asked questions. Let me just get to the super chat as well. From Drizzy, there's big up. Says, what do you think about the beefing between NBA players and media analysts, especially Stephen A. Smith, Kuhn, and 1.5 points per game Skip Bayless? That's from Drizzy. Drizzy does words.
Such a
all right. Well, we'll go to you, Timo. Don't just say fuck Skip Bayless. You said all this shit after Q&A. So answer the question and then. What do you think about the beefing between the two players?
It's a media club merchant,
no,
man.
forget all of that, fam. Yo, Timo, listen. Timo, listen. What do you think about the beef between the NBA players and media? So not just Skip, just because you like Russ. I'm saying in general. What are your thoughts? Talk to us.
Overreaction, I would say, especially with Skip Bayless. I'll just think that the beef with the professional players and the analysts like Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith. Even though I like Stephen A. Smith, but you know what? I'll let him off slide. But with some players beat with Skip Bayless, nah, man, it's just like two Charles at this time, man. Honestly, it's just like jarring to see every time I see his tweet. It's like it's ridiculous to this point, and I feel like Skip Bayless trying to rattle the professional players just for the media clout.
That's nothing new.
I talk about it, Jez. You answer this question, fam.
See, Skip Bayless. There's a reason why nobody really talks back to him like that. Like from my awareness, I don't really see people responding to the Bayless because they know the bullshit. They're smiling the bullshit from a mile away. He's just trying to. He pretty much gains his views from pretty much just talking nonsense. But he knows ball, but he uses that because people know But this is what brings you interactions and everything. You see this even in football. You see this in spaces and that. People talk most nonsense because they love interaction and everything. The likes and
Yeah,
shit like
he's
that.
talking to you. Hold that, gal. He's talking to you. You probably watching. Big up though. How's that RAPHINHA deal to Arsenal, fam? Hold that. You know what I'm saying? Hold that. Clip this. You know what I'm saying? Clip this. You know what I'm saying? Clip this. Bet you won't clip this, gal. I bet you won't clip this. Yeah, big up the gal every time. That's my guy. Go subscribe to EGTV. Same time you can hold that. Clip this, fam. You know what I'm saying? Comedian. Go on, just.
Yeah, but I think this question was more from Jesse just talking about Henry Curtin's what will happen with Draymond. And I said already on the last stream that if you don't NBA players I know pussies, like especially the older ones, they obviously know a lot of players come up from quite good families. They don't struggle as much. But a lot of them other players that are older right now, a lot of them they came from rough places, rough environments when they were younger. Draymond is one of them for many of them. And it's like when you're trying to pick a fight, it's not like Perkins was talking like he's actually trying to fight him, but he was talking a lot of stuff here.
Well. Go on, fam.
He was talking a lot of stuff, so it's like expect someone like a Draymond, which everybody knows is very petty. Expect to get a response, and Draymond ain't no pussy. I said this last time. He's willing to go overboard and take the fine to get his point across, and it's like the media guys need to they shouldn't be shocked. And if Perkins, like Peter said yesterday as well, if Perkins is really what he really believed in, he responds back to him and risk himself getting fined as well by ESPN or whoever he works for. Stephen A. Smith and Skip, I don't take these two serious either because these guys, they just put everything out there. One moment you see Stephen A. Smith talking about how Kyrie should retire. Next thing he says he's one of the best point guards in the league again. Then you see him talking about how Ja is going to have a bigger impact in the playoffs than Giannis. And there's so many other things I could go back on him. And he wouldn't even be like shameless about it either. He wouldn't be anything about like anything honest about it. He would be shameless about it too. Because a lot of people call him out for this bullshit, innit? But if you don't smell the coffee with Skip and Steve A. Smith, I don't know. I think this is more about Kendrick Perkins because he was an NBA player as well. Just don't remember. Like he was the NBA, he knows what it's about, innit? And I think from a former professional from the same sport that you guys play, knowing how important Draymond has been as a basketball player over the years, and then giving us so much disrespect to the Warriors and him as well. I feel like Draymond, he looked at it like, yo, you should know the game. You should know the game better than everybody else. Fans, they will always give you shit. It's just fans. It's a part of the game. The banter, chanting, all this. But as a former professional, talking like you were, I could have been on ESPN and said the same shit. But I don't get paid for that.
Yeah, that. Blood Diamond, what are you saying, fam? Thoughts on this? The NBA players and the media analysts, them beefing and going back and forth.
Well, it's not just the NBA. It's basically sporting culture now. And they have to learn to live with it. Skip Bayless, probably the Graham Souness of the NBA. I mean, when Rashford is criticized, he goes on Twitter and writes an essay. And I don't see this stopping anytime soon. And most analysts, pundits, they have agendas. And once they have a platform and a following to run their agendas, then they're going to continue. Some players have to use tact and know when to reply, when not to reply. And the best response is to respond on the court, on the basketball court. So it ain't no big deal to me, as far as I see.
Yeah, I agree with you there as well. Like, Eddie, what do you think about it? To the question.
Talking to me?
Yeah. What do you think of the question? Because Ron's obviously not here. What you answer as well.
I wanted to make sure I talked a whole lot. I wanted to make sure you guys got your shine too.
No worry about it.
Yes, yeah, I'm ready.
So the key word that Dendada used, excuse me, was agenda. Stephen A has an agenda to make ESPN more money. Skip Bayless has an agenda to make Fox News more money. The only thing that brings those brothers more money is attention. So, and you know, I'm not throwing him in with this bunch, but I'll use him as an example because he was mentioned. Egal gets so much activity because of the emotions that he riles up within other fan bases standing up for his club. Lee Gunner gets so many views because of the emotions that he gives in defense of how he thinks his club should be acting and portraying themselves on the pitch. Emotion is at play in all this. In the absence of logic, is the absence of emotion. I was taught that a while ago by my father. Emotion is the absence of logic. And so whatever these guys say, it's not logical. It's what's going to get people to click on my page, click on my Twitter, and the golden goose for them is actually when an athlete responds. Draymond saying what he said about Skip and then saying, I'm not going to go on your show. I'm not going to have this back and forth with you. He takes the power away from Skip. Kyrie Irving going back and forth with Stephen A. Smith. And I don't like using the C word because I think black people come in all shapes and sizes, all different kinds of opinions. I don't like certain name calling, but if y'all want to roll with it, I'm not going to stop y'all because I'm highly disgusted with how he applies himself on ESPN. Because he's honestly, again, if you would have seen how I grew up with Stephen A., you wouldn't recognize this guy.
Okay.
Like, this guy was covering Allen Iverson for his entire career. Early Allen Iverson. When I tell you Allen Iverson was partying 20 hours in the day playing basketball for 2, that was his career. The amount of shit that Stephen A. could have wrote about Allen Iverson and didn't, I respected him for that because he understood, like, Allen Iverson is killing these boys, still partying. Who cares? I just want to make my name, so I'm going to write a salacious story about him. No, we're not doing that. That's my brother. I'm finna look out for him, but I'll check him to a man to himself. Like, personally, I'll check him. So he didn't let him wild out, but he didn't put him out on Front Street. And that's the fucked up thing is Stephen A. is now trying to put players out on Front Street for shit that ain't even related to basketball. Like talking about Kyrie and his vaccine. That man had a choice. He accepted the choice that he wasn't going to play. Who are you to continue to scold that man? What is it going to provide any of us? Because to be fair, Kyrie was not the only one who was unvaccinated. It was just that New York had a vaccine mandate which did not allow him to play. But somehow, some way, Stephen A. took it upon himself to make Kyrie the face of anti-vax from Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. when he comes on. But he knew why he did that, because everybody was being emotional about people who were not vaccinated.
Facts.
If they had just been grown about it and said, you know what, they're not vaccinated, they're going to have to deal with that, not me. We can move on and talk about some other shit. It would have been different.
Yeah.
But he wanted to be, the morality police. You feel me? When we don't even know what the fuck he be doing in his own personal life. But I'm just, these NBA players, these guys want to use NBA players as pawns. That's my thesis is this. They're using NBA players as pawns. If I was an NBA player, I'd call him a fucking moron and keep it pushing.
Right,
I wouldn't waste that much time on him. I'd ignore him and keep it pushing.
I hear that. Murtazo, back to the Hawks before we close out. Make sure you hit the like button, people, and subscribe to the channel as well. Excuses as in making playoffs and contending in first and second rounds consistently. That team has a lot of talent right now. Collins, Capella, Red Velvet, Trey, Murray, Hunter, etc. They got to be in the mix, really. So this is Murtaza talking about the Hawks. Your thoughts, Eddie?
There's one basketball. They don't play with two basketballs. That's the problem. You're going to have to tell Herter that he's not the guy that we've been telling him he is. You're going to have to tell Hunter he's not the kind of guy. Like, you're going to have to preach sacrifice to people who have never really seen the benefits of sacrifice in the NBA. It'd be one thing if you're going to the Warriors and they tell you, yeah, you got to take less shots because we're trying to get this guy more shots. It's another thing when everybody's trying to eat out here, get that next contract. That sacrifice shit ain't like that, bro. It's not that easy. So I get you. And that's all they can do. I mean, they're a second round exit, bro, because again, they have nobody as a team, they will struggle to guard Giannis. And due to that struggling to guard Giannis, you get a Chris Middleton and a Drew Holiday being able to do whatever the hell they want. And I'll finish on this. Their only option is you keep this team together, you play the waiting game, and hopefully you get a shot. That's your only chance, in my opinion.
Jez, your thoughts on this?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with Eddie what he said, to be honest. Like, even if let's rewind back to like I think last year or the season before when they were in the playoffs or they played a game in the playoffs, and that looked terrible. Like, Trey tried his best in it, but like I said, I don't believe if Trey Young is the best player on your team and he's the primary option as well on the board, I don't think the Hawks will ever go far, in my opinion, because it's nothing to do with not to do with his talent. It's more to do with really how you guard him and how did you guard then the whole rest of the team as well. For example, there was the one game where they played, Trey tried his best, but the whole team couldn't get a bucket. Guarded everywhere, couldn't hit 100 physicality. Gallinari was getting pushed around like a little kid. Capella was injured. Everybody said they need Capella back ASAP because you can clearly tell without him, there's nobody that can even guard under the rim. So it's like not only can they defend the threes, or they can't defend players who are taller than them, their shots, contest them properly in that. But also you can't defend him around the ring if Capella isn't there. So it's like, I think this team is missing too much. I don't think Herter is that guy that people, also we call him Red Velvet and that, but he's not that guy in reality. Like, I don't think Collins, I need to see a lot more from Collins, I think. Maybe the level he's playing right now, maybe it's the highest he can reach. But then they need to add more to the team to give me the belief they can do something in it. And like Eddie said, I think Trey's best role will be having somebody that isn't the primary ball handler. The Trey can kind of roam around the court, but he can also handle it. I'm not saying he shouldn't be handling it, but it's like with him in the size, like you getting double teamed once, he getting bullied around. It's like it's not easy. He doesn't have the IQ of like a CP3, who's also around his size. I don't have the same IQ like that. It's just like CP3's IQ comes with age as well. The CP3 that we see right now, like Trey's still a young player in the NBA. He's been a couple of years here, but he's still developing. He's still getting more and more experience. And it's like overall this Hawks team, I don't know if they can attract players. They definitely should do something in the free agency, in my opinion, for like the role players definitely, because I don't think the role players are all good enough. So because Loki, if I'm the Hawks coach, I feel like content. I look at the bench and ask my question. I look back at the court because like there's nothing really that convinces me off the bench. So yeah.
Fair dues, yo. Fair dues. Black Diamond.
Yeah, I agree. And again, the answer to this is multidimensional. And Flawless always uses the analogies and the comparisons when coming to the EPL. But I will get to that. So again, first of all, we have to look at the team deficiencies. If the team has deficiencies and all the deficiencies are addressed, that we now have a functional team, the next thing we have to look at is, okay, we dealt with the deficiencies, we strengthen the team. But how much have you strengthened the team as compared to Box and the other two or the other three? It's the same thing we're speaking about with Chelsea. Chelsea need to address certain deficiencies and bring in quality players. But how would that team, even though functional, compete with Liverpool and Man City? Now, if all the deficiencies are addressed and you strengthen enough to be on par with your main contenders and you fail, then we'll have to look at the head coach. So it's not just a quick fix. Deficiencies are addressed first. We strengthen, we address all the areas. We have a functional team. How do we match up to the best of the best? If we match up to the best of the best and fail, then we have to look at the organization or the head coach. I think that makes some sense.
Fair enough. Yo, Timo, you there?
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it short. Like I just feel this Hawks team are way too young. That's not even balance of the squad, like mixed with the senior and the juniors as well. And yeah, like many years we've been keep saying about lack of experience, and it's just will be the same thing again.
Fair dues. We're gonna end on this question here from Time to Shine, who says Gobert linked with them. Do you like that or not really, Eddie? That's from Time to Shine.
Only place I like Gobert is on the bench. Again, you don't give Terrence Mann 37 points and gain my respect back, bro. You don't do it. I had to put the bruv in there because I'm feeling this one.
Eddie, let's not respect Terrence Mann, man.
Let's not. Fuck Terrence Mann, first and foremost. I don't care about him at all. I could care less about him.
Fuck Terrence Mann, bro. Fuck him.
Keep your health, all that normal stuff. I ain't saying it like that, but I ain't here for him. I ain't here for no Terrence Mann. Nah, man. But Gobert on the Hawks. Okay. Theoretically speaking, he figures out that he's 7'2" and has long arms and can make a hook shot. The fact that this man does not have a hook shot, it's criminal.
Like I would understand it more if he can shoot and space space the floor and that, but he doesn't do that. I think Eddie froze.
Yeah, Eddie's froze. Yeah, he'll be back. Eddie's froze. He'll be back.
See, this is the thing. I agree. Because like, well,
look at Tebow turning his camera on for the Clippers standard. You ain't slick, fam. We see you, you know.
Hey, let's go, man.
I'm
alive. About time, man.
Yeah, you're alive, innit? What happened within that Lakers Sun stream? What happened then? Was you alive then? What happened? Yeah, exactly. Go on, Jez. Carry on.
I had to go on the train, innit?
Yeah. Go on, Jez.
No, because, bro, I say this all the time with AD, bro. You are told for a reason. Go into the fucking paint and be a big man. They're calling centers and power forwards big men for a reason. Why are you not under the rim and trying to do something from there? I understand the fancy space on the floor is the modern game, bro, but bro, use your height for a reason, and especially Gobert who can't even space the floor. Are you just altered to play defense and then offense? You just there for like a tree doing nothing. Like I said, like it's frustrating because defensively he's so good, but obviously a couple of times he lets people drop it in the getting the big nights, but offensively it's like you got to do a lot more better, and it's like hopefully in this preseason right now that he's at, he worked all the time being. Hopefully he worked on this game offensively because I think a lot of teams would like him a lot more if he was able to play better offensively.
That bad Lulu Wi-Fi, dog.
That's cool. No stress, man. It's all good, man.
That Bandulu Wi-Fi.
It's cool, man. You back in it. So yeah, your thoughts not really about Terrence Mann yet. It's Gobert. So Gobert on the bench, you're not a fan. That's what Eddie's basically saying.
Yeah,
He's not a
Gobert
fan.
can. He can. I mean, this is my problem with NBA players. If you're the same kind of player from the time you got drafted, what's your deal even being in the NBA? Every year you have to evolve as a player. Every year they evolved as a player to get into the NBA. Why stop now? Why stop now?
The money, bro.
The money. Thank you. And the ego, the pride, it'll fuck you up. Right? James Harden was partying up as much as he, as an example, was partying up as much as he wanted to, and then is wondering why the fuck is my body breaking down towards the back end of the season. You dig what I'm saying? Rudy Gobert came in the league as a shot blocker. Him blocking shots is nothing new. But the fact that you can't guard anybody on the perimeter and there are other 7-footers who have figured it out, I have no patience for it. So if he shows me that it was a Utah situation, right? Like his head just couldn't get past the fact that Utah has some of the blandest food in the world. I'll take that.
Not even salt there in the food.
You know what I'm saying? No seasoning, no sugar, no nada.
No black woman.
Kool-Aid with just the pack in it. No type of season, no sugar.
It's actually
no
black, bro. Like, because Eddie and Black Arrow, let me ask you a question. Do you ever see a black person in a Utah game, a Utah home game? I dare you to try to find me one.
I see him because he stands out. It's like a brother at Burnley. You don't see the brother at Burnley. You don't see the one brother at Burnley. Then he gonna start asking questions like, "Brother, are you okay?
Yeah,
safe. Need help? Do I need to call? I need to call the authorities. Are you okay?
Yeah,
that's what happens. That's what happens. But no, we gonna let him rock. Let it rock. He goes to Atlanta. Let him rock. If he gets exposed, I was right on him again.
Yeah. What are you saying, Timo? What are you saying?
It's Rudy Gobert. Is he on free agency though?
No, trade.
It's for a trade. Because obviously there's a lot of rumors saying that Donovan Mitchell could be on the move as well. Like he didn't like that. What's it called, Snyder?
Donovan Mitchell could go as well. I'll be real.
Yeah.
The free agency is going to be interesting tomorrow as well. You got Zach LaVine is in there as well. Bradley Beal, John Wall. Even though the rumors going Clippers, but it hasn't been confirmed yet.
I think he's going Clippers. I'll be real. I think it's
you think it's like that's it? It's final.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna go elsewhere. I think if the Clippers offer him to come to LA, especially as well, like you gotta remember the LA pool. Just living in LA is big, even if it's for the Clippers or for you guys, the Clippers. Like it's a big thing.
It's gonna be a lot of movement in the free agent though.
Yeah, we're gonna find out, and we will do some from a courtside commentary on the Twitch about people. So if any big trades do happen or trade rumors do happen, there will be a courtside commentary going ahead on the Twitch. So make sure you keep an eye on the upcoming live stream schedule on the Twitch. You should be following over there. And make sure you subscribe to the channel here as well, because you get content every single day, people, and you don't get the same content on the YouTube as you do on the Twitch. So follow Sarcasm City TV across all platforms and all social media platforms as well. Gonna close out the show. Make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel as well. That Diamond, anything you want to add, my brother, before we go?
Pertaining to the Gobert stuff, yeah. I mean, I think they should avoid. I mean, does he strengthen them? Probably. Does he strengthen them to the extent to catch their opponents? I say no. To me, it's like Gabriel Jesus signing for Arsenal, and a lot of these guys are hyped that he's going to rip up. Man appeared in 28 games last year in the best team in the EPL and bagged 8 goals. So doesn't really make sense. I do see the Gobert thing that it will just raise expectations, which will lead to further disappointment. Other than that, again, it has been a pleasure. I love being on. This is the peace, my escape, my serenity. So bless up to the panel, Flawless, Eddie, Timo, Jazz. God bless you guys, and looking forward to the next one.
100%. Yo, Jazz, anything you want to add, fam?
Big up to everyone. Was a lit stream, bro. Nice to answer some questions. Got some standard in as well, certain teams as well. Yeah. So big up in the chat.
100%. Yo, Timo.
Yeah, guys, just subscribe, guys. Just subscribe, and make sure you follow the Twitch as well. And Flo's gonna deliver to you guys some content as well.
Of course, always, people. My brother Eddie.
Always thankful to be on your platform, boss. Always thankful for the opportunity. Thankful for the people in the chat for making this a live Q&A. Thank you to Timo, Don Dada, Jez for always being the real ones and always making this enjoyable.
Yeah, man, 100%. And we're back. I was going to say tomorrow, back today, if you're in the UK people, 5:30 p.m. We'll be back here on the YouTube, the Man United podcast, myself, Eddie, discussing all things Manchester United. We will come up with a topic of what we're discussing. We'll probably discuss it. Well, we will discuss it after this show. So, yeah, 5:30 p.m., the Man United podcast, and 7 p.m. I'll be on Rance's Twitch with Aaron, where we'll be discussing Manchester United, slandering Arsenal, slandering of some other teams as well, more than likely. Then I'll probably do with Matisse on his Twitch, probably 11 p.m. You know what I'm saying? And then after that on the Sarcasm City TV Twitch. Oh, yeah, big up to Matisse for hitting 5K on Twitch as well. Love to my guy Matisse every single time. And then
I think you close to a Mark II, no?
Yeah, we're close to 4K on here. We're closing in. We're under 100 away from here. So we're getting there, man. So the 4K
go
party
follow
gonna be
if you haven't on there. Go to the
subscribe
Twitch,
here. Yeah. So it's on here. Yeah. We're literally under 100 on here. You know what I'm saying? On the YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. So big up to Matisse, and then what you get tomorrow? You'll either get a Q&A or a fan calling show tomorrow, people. I've not decided, yo. You may get a courtside commentary. Not sure what you're gonna get on the Twitch, but just keep an eye out anyway. But love to everyone that's locked in. And this has been the Sarcasm City Sports Q&A on the Sarcasm City TV YouTube. Big up.